Yo, live and in effect, Media Marcus, February the 9th, 2026. It's the day after the Super Bowl, so you obviously guys know I'm going to come here and talk about the Super Bowl. I'll be back later tonight to kind of see what happens today. But yeah, I got lit last night, and I was like, no, I'm not streaming. So came on this morning as I'm about to get ready for work soon. But yes, I'm your guy, Media Marcus, in the building. It is February the 9th, 2026. The Super Bowl was last night at 9:27 a.m. by the way, a.m. But the Super Bowl was last night, and we've crowned a champion. The Seattle Seahawks have won the Super Bowl 2026 NFL champion, Super Bowl champions. Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to my little brother. My little brother's a Seahawks fan, and first game he watched all season was last night. God, just slow clapping, calm clap for every field goal. He's not a big sports fan. As they start scoring touchdowns, louder claps. I'm like, okay. And then he's throwing his hands up, saying touchdown. I'm like, wow, this guy is really watched. He watched the whole game. So shout out to my little brother, man. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to everybody in Seattle hanging up another banner. This is their third. Well, this is their fourth Super Bowl that I've seen them in. This is their second one that they won. They lost against the Steelers in 06. They beat the Broncos of 2013, lost to the Patriots in 14, and then they won this one. The Seahawks did. So they defeat, I think it was 29-13 was the final score. They defeat the Patriots, and the Patriots didn't play well. The Patriots had at one point more punts than completions. I think they had 7 punts and 6 completions from Drake May. That won't get it done. He had a few turnovers as well. Drake May, I think he had 2 interceptions and a fumble. You cannot turn the ball over in a game like this. And defensively, Seattle just took it to them. Mike McDonald, second-year head coach now, a Super Bowl champion head coach. And Baltimore had him right down the street from where I am right now. Baltimore had this guy, Mike McDonald, as their defensive coordinator. They let him go, and then the following year, they let go of John Harbaugh. See how that works out? I feel like so many times we don't see organizations kind of take that leap, right? Like, hey, we actually love our coordinator, and our head coach has been around for some time, but we don't want this coordinator to leave out of this building. And we didn't see that with Baltimore. They let Mike McDonald leave out that building. He goes to Seattle, wins the Super Bowl in his second year. He is now a Super Bowl winning head coach, just like John Harbaugh, but in a different place. So Baltimore gets neither of those guys, right? Baltimore let Mike McDonald walk out the building, and then a year later they fired their head coach that they kept over him. And I just hate to see that. If you got a really good coordinator and your head coach, like sometimes you gotta like move on. But nobody seems to do that in the NFL. But whatever. Seattle are the champions. New England, they had a good season. They really did. But I mean, even all of them admitted after the game, this is the best team that we played all season. And it showed. Defensively, Seattle dominated. There's really no stats to give you from New England just because they didn't really do too much offensively. We saw Kenneth Walker. He did get the Super Bowl MVP. He's on his way to Orlando, Florida right now. He's going to Disney World. Disney World's in Florida, right? Yeah, Disney World. So Kenneth Walker had over 160 total yards. Of course, I had it under on rushing and receiving. So that didn't come home. I did win one bet at the very last play of the game. But yeah, very good. Very, very. It wasn't that great of a Super Bowl. It wasn't that great of a Super Bowl. It was all right. Especially if you're a Seattle fan, it was amazing. If you're a fan of any other team, it's just like, all right, man, whatever. Super Bowl happened. So that was the latest. New England, they got to kind of get that offensive line and continue to build on that. I know, 2 years ago, there was one of the worst offensive lines in football. Draft Will Campbell. He didn't look great last night. Might have been some nerves. He's still a rookie, though, so, obviously you don't want to just get rid of him, but you got to build on that. The Morgan Moses of the world. You need some studs on that offensive line. We didn't see Drake May use his legs very much last night in that Super Bowl, but kudos to Seattle. They did things. They made them uncomfortable. The entire offense for New England. And this game could have really been a blowout if it wasn't for Christian Gonzalez in that Patriots defense. You think about the plays Christian Gonzalez made. It was 2 big plays that really saved touchdowns. But yes, so that is the latest for the Super Bowl 60 winners are the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to my little brother as well, as he's a Seahawks fan, and he doesn't come out for any games. No, he doesn't come out for any games. Came out for the Super Bowl last night. He watched from start to finish. So shout out to Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 60. We now head into the off season, and all teams feel like we got a chance. So shout out to Sam Darnold as well, man. Sam Darnold is on his 5th team. He played with the Jets, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Vikings, and now the Seahawks wins the championship as the starting quarterback with that organization. And I think they might be doing a new deal very soon. I think he got like a 3 years, $100 million last off season. Might be time to restructure that. All right, let's move on. Well, let's talk Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. You know, Bad Bunny performed as the Benito Bowl. Bad Bunny performed at the Super Bowl halftime, Super Bowl 60 halftime in Santa Clara. I mean, I love the performance, right? I think he started off in like the fields, like doing like manual labor. You can see the people around, really representing where he's from, and kind of going through like some people, some of the older gentlemen playing like dominoes, and just kind of walking through, and you see the gentleman serving icy, and someone's on the grill, like just anything, just kind of reminding him of home. And then you also got to the point where the camera work was amazing. All right, the camera work was amazing for the Super Bowl performance. You saw at one point, and this is, like I said, Bad Bunny just showing homage to where he's from, his heritage. You see the two Latin boxers kind of going at it. He goes under them. The camera work was so amazing. And we saw all these people come out. We saw the Cardi B's, the Jessica Albas, the Lady Gaga did perform with Bad Bunny, as well as Ricky Martin. You saw him bring those out. There were a lot of bets that Cardi B was going to be performing with Bad Bunny, and she did, right? She was a part of that performance, but she didn't have to get on the microphone. So I don't know how that's going to end with the bets that were made there. But yes, a very good performance. I didn't know any of the words, right? But you could just feel the beat, feel the music. Have you been to Miami? Have you been to, all of these certain places, right? Where you go and the music's different, but it's still music. So I really enjoyed the halftime performance. Saw some legends come out to watch Bad Bunny. And I really love the camera work that was designed. At one point, he had the classic like Spike Lee shot where you kind of just seen him like floating, Bad Bunny. And I thought it was a great performance. I know a lot of people are going to have some pushback for different reasons. Whatever. Bad Bunny did his thing. Benito Bowl. Kudos. I'm going to have to play it back at work today because the music was jamming. So shout out to Bad Bunny. Executed a well done halftime show. I love the way it started out with the people in the fields and the guys making ices and the two boxers, Latin boxers going at it, and he walks. The camera work was phenomenal. The camera work was phenomenal, guys. I don't think you really go back and look at that and look at the camera work. No shaky camera, nothing that was missed. Everything was very precise. The Spike Lee shot of him kind of just like floating. If you know any Spike Lee movies, he'll have someone like talking, but like just like this still floating like picture of them. It's really good. The classic Spike Lee shot, I saw that. So Bad Bunny, the Benito Bowl, it was amazing. It was better than the Super Bowl, in my opinion. It was better than the Super Bowl. They had shorties shaking a little bit, you know what I mean? Hey. So all of that happened, man. But it's February 9th, 2026, 9:35 a.m. Ride with me before I get ready to go in for work today. But yeah, so all right, let's move on. Oh, let's stick in the Super Bowl because I got some juicy things for you guys. This is the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. So Cardi B, I was gonna do a video just of Cardi B. I seen her out a ton on the Super Bowl weekend. Cardi B performed at the Fanatics party. We saw her do broadcasting during the ESPN event. I'm not sure what event. I think it was a celebrity game. I seen Cam Newton involved, people like that, and she was just talking, laughing, drunk. We seen her with a robot, giving a robot a strip tease, and she ends up falling. Cardi B. We seen her with what is the lady's name? Generica. We seen her with Generica Owens, who was very popular this weekend. If you guys don't know, Generica Owens, She was a reporter reporting on the Super Bowl, and people were, it was her outfit, saying her outfit was a little controversial. Is it professional enough? Things of that nature. So, I mean, you guys can tell me, because, I'm certainly a fan. I enjoyed her. I enjoyed the outfit. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed the outfit. Looked professional to me. But we saw Cardi B out with Miss Owens. I don't want to mess up her name, so I got to kind of Generica Owens. We saw Cardi B out with her. So we saw Cardi B doing a lot this weekend. She was also a part of that Bad Bunny performance. She was all over Super Bowl weekend. And after that Bad Bunny performance, she leaves the Super Bowl, apparently. And people are investigating this. So as I wake up today, the news story is that social media is reacting to reports that Cardi B unfollowed Stefon Diggs and left the Super Bowl before the actual team's loss. She left after the Bad Bunny performance. So it's showing that, yes, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs unfollowed each other. We know they just had a baby. You know, they're in a couple, or have been a couple. And there was a video, too, this weekend where Cardi, they asked, like, does she have a message or inspiration for Stefon Diggs? She looks in the camera and says, good luck. That was it. So people are on it. They're saying that these two may have broken up, Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. Nothing is for certain, but social media is reacting to reports that Cardi B unfollowed Stefon Diggs and left the Super Bowl 60 before his team's loss. And we'll see what the latest on that. But yeah, it just seemed Cardi B was all over Super Bowl weekend. And it ends with this. They're saying, they're not together no more. Why that may be, we don't know. But that was very interesting to see. The first thing I saw when I woke up. Social media reacting to reports that Cardi B unfollowed or potentially blocked Stefon Diggs and left the Super Bowl before his team's loss. So we'll see where that goes. But speaking of the Super Bowl 61. Who's ready, huh? Super Bowl 61 will be obviously next year, 2027, and it will land on Valentine's Day. So next year's Super Bowl, gentlemen, is this thing on? Next year's Super Bowl is during Valentine's Day. Get your affairs in order, gentlemen, ladies, and gentlemen. The Super Bowl is on February the 14th, 2027. Get your affairs in order. Super Bowl 61. So I'm just letting y'all know right now. That's what's happening right now. All right, let's keep it moving. I did want to talk Don Toliver. Don Toliver, kudos to him, the Bull, as he landed his first #1 album. So I'm just going to have to pull this up. Give me 1 second. Don Toliver, he just released the Octane album a couple weeks ago at this point. Last Friday, December 31st. Not December, January 31st. Don Toliver #1 album. Just do my due diligence. But yeah, so this Billboard reporting. Don Toliver scores his first #1 album on Billboard 200 with Octane. Do some reading. So once again, Billboard reporting, Don Toliver lands his first #1 album on the Billboard 200 chart as Octane starts atop the list, dated February 14th. The set launches with 162,000 equivalent album units earned, his best week ever in the United States in the week ending February the 5th. So, yes, Don Toliver got his first #1. I'm a big Don Toliver fan. I love the album. I love most of his projects that he comes out with. I love the sound. And yes, I already gave you guys some of my favorite songs from that album last week. But he scores his first #1. Don Toliver, first #1 on Billboard 200. Congratulations to him. This is the Octane album. And go listen to that if you haven't, because I'm playing that daily. I am playing that daily. And sticking to music, J. Cole. J. Cole dropped the album, the double disc album. The Fall Off, the double disc album, J. Cole just dropped this past Friday. And it's Monday morning. I've listened to this album. But it's so many songs. This is 24 songs, right? 24 total songs. I do love some records, right? I love Bunch Roll Blues. It got Tim's and Future now. I'm a big Tim's fan. I think he did very well with that. I love Safety, and I think let me give you guys a general idea of what I think about this album. J. Cole has this thing where he could just I don't know if you played this album to me, right? In any year, just don't tell me where it's from, what year it's from. Like I can tell you, if you said this album came out in 1999, I would not disbelieve you, right? Because of the sounds, because of the some of the approaches. And when I say approaches, just the way like he attacks a record, right? It might be it's not like I feel like in 2013 we had like that Migos flow, right? And you got the some things that just changed, the Uzi Verts of the world. I'm thinking like when you play this album, like I can't, and I think that's a good thing, right? You don't know, you can't tell like where this is from. But I also think about someone like Kanye who makes albums, and he says it's sort of a poster of the moment, if you will. Like I think about that '07 album where you had Good Life and T-Pain. T-Pain was so popping in 2007, or the Drive Slow of Paul Wall in like '04, '05, and you think about the Paul Wall. When was Paul Wall really popping during that time? But J. Cole, you can't really get a sense from him on that. So I think you could play this album 10 years ago. I think you could play it now. But I also think J. Cole just has the ability. This is why I think people love him. J. Cole has the ability to sort of meet with the common man and sort of relate to the common man. And we saw him promoting his album, driving his old Honda Civic throughout the states. He's in North Carolina A&T with them. All of those things. So J. Cole does a really good job at relating to the common man. Also think he does a really good job of sort of reverting to like who he was before he was famous or before he became this entity that he is now. And I think that shows throughout the project. I can't really give you guys a full review yet because there's still songs I need to like digest. I've heard it once, maybe twice, but I don't really like, it's a lot of lyrics when you listen to J. Cole, right? You got to listen to the lyrics. But some of my favorite songs, I like Safety. I think that's the UNITY sampling from Queen Latifah. So I do like that. Legacy is cool. Bunts Road Blues is probably one of my favorite tracks. With Tim's, I'm a big Tim's fan. So that Future's on there as well. Who the F is You? That's a good record. I've seen a lot of people bumping that. Drum and bass. I heard people saying that's a good song, but it didn't really hit me. So I gotta go back and listen, and that's why I said it's not a full review. The Let Out. I love The Let Out. I think The Let Out is one of J. Cole's better tracks. And he's just taking us through a story. I can visualize it as someone who was young and like being outside and going to go-go's. That's like where we from. I'm in PG County, Maryland right now. But just going out, or someone's like having like a birthday, or are we going out to this lounge or whatever, and you kind of go. There's a lot of things you go through that, and trying to protect yourself and protect the people you're with, and people plotting. And I've seen, there's a lot of horror stories of people going out and things that happen once you leave the club or the let out. So I really love what J. Cole did there, not just for the message, but because of the sound. He kind of challenged the sound here. We obviously know he does some singing in his records, but this was a very wicked sound. I love the Let Out. I think that's probably my favorite song on the album so far, or the albums. Is a double disc. And let's kind of wrap this up. Lonely at the Top. I had a theory, and this is why I got to listen to this a little further. I had a theory that maybe J. Cole was taking some shots at Jay-Z on this project. I'm not fully sure yet. I got to keep listening. But Lonely at the Top, he does talk about having to knock off the people that he once looked up to. And then there was another bar, I think on this 39, where he talked about something. So, and there has been some speculation about him and Jay-Z, right? Their relationship or non-relationship. So I did want to kind of dig more into that. So I'll be back talking about this Cole album because it's so long that, I mean, it's so long. Old Dog is one of my favorite records for sure. That's on this 39. I feel like this 39 I didn't get all the way through, so I got up to like What If. But yeah, I mean, I think J. Cole, when he makes music, and this is apparently going to be his last album. I don't believe that. especially being independent now and it's all going to your pockets. But I do think that J. Cole is just taking on this lane where it's like, yo, I make music for the people like me, the people that are local in Fayetteville or North Carolina that can really get it. I think Old Dog is like a North Carolina staple. I hear P.D. Pablo on that with the shirt off kind of feel. So J. Cole, like the record, I got to keep playing it. I'm sure you guys out there playing it as well. And yeah, I think he'll sort of play like this Andre 3000 kind of role, pop out randomly in a few years, 4 years or so. Hey, I got a new album. It's 2030. I'm going to do this, meet me here. I'm going to go and then shut it down. You don't hear from him again. So I think J. Cole, and he talked about that in Old Dog. He talked about the fact that he's out of a deal now. He's independent, out of the slavery deal, as he called it. So I think that's what we're going to see out of J. Cole going forward. He's out of this deal. You know, it's not obligated to make any albums. He can do it when he wants, and we'll see that. But yeah, that was the double disc, the fall off, J. Cole. All right, let's keep it moving. Talk J. Cole, talk Don T. Yeah, I got a couple more things. I think the number one thing, all right, let's talk Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo is everywhere, man. His brother is everywhere. Coleman Domingo. So this is Deadline reporting. Coleman Domingo's Nat King Cole biopic, which is called Unforgettable, heads to market with Lionsgate. So Coleman Domingo looks like he's going to be playing potentially Nat King Cole in a biopic. Once again, Deadline reporting. Let me get the full story. Yeah, needs that. Coleman Domingo. Yeah, so all right, exclusive details are emerging about Coleman Domingo's musical biopic of legendary singer Nat King Cole, which will be called Unforgettable. We can reveal that Lionsgate has boarded the project for international sales and will launch it ahead of next week's European film market. So this looks like this is happening. They've already shot it. Coleman Domingo, one of the hardest working men in Hollywood. We know he's going to play Joe Jackson in the upcoming Michael Jackson film, a biopic. But Coleman Domingo also set to play Nat King Cole in the biopic Unforgettable. So we look forward to seeing that. All right, I got a couple more things before I get out of here. It is 9:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, February the 9th, the day after Super Bowl 60. Shout out to the Seahawks who got that W. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. I had a couple more things, and I think this one was like really caught me. I think I seen this Friday, and I was like, oh, I gotta talk about this. So, Black Millionaires reporting. Always willing to give you guys a Black Millionaires quote or storyline. And where was this? This was in reference to Braiding. So. A Google engineer is building an automated. A Google engineer is building an automated. A Google engineer is building an automated hair braiding tool to reduce time and pain for stylists. Black Millionaires reporting. A Google software engineer is developing an automated hair braiding tool designed to reduce the time, cost, and physical strain associated with professional braiding. Former Google Maps engineer. Founded this in 2024 after drawing on her own experience paying for college by braiding hair. The handheld device is built to assist, not replace stylists by automating standard protective styles. So I feel that it's like, oh, this machine, this is to help the braiders out, the people that are actually in that field. But AI is taking over everything. And if you're telling me that this is here to assist a braider in braiding hair, which, by the way, is a very Black thing. I mean, who's really are they really braiding hair? And I don't believe so. I mean, it's certainly a Black thing, right? People of color braid hair, and now they're building this to help to assist the braiders. But in an AI-assisted world, man, AI is taking over everything. Are you telling me that AI is going to be braiding y'all hair in 2030? Are you guys willing to get your hair braided by this AI machine? What if it's quick? What if it goes from, let's say Yo, when chicks get braids, they be in the joint all day. Let's say it goes from 6 hours to 20 minutes with this AI machine, right? Most people are going to save their time and use the 20 minutes. So I do think it's a slippery slope here, but this is the latest. A machine automated to help to help braid. So an automated system to help braiding. And now I just feel like, yeah, it starts that way to help to reduce time and pain for stylists, but eventually that may take over the whole industry. AI. So Google engineer is building an automated hair braiding tool to reduce time and pain for stylists. That is the latest Black Millionaires reporting. And before we get out of here, I think I have one more thing. I think it's once again Black Millionaires reporting. Landlords are now offering buy now, pay later option for rent to ease the stress of affordability constraints. Whoa. Black Millionaires reporting rent now, pay later services work by covering the full rent payment to a landlord on time, then allowing the renter to pay that amount back in multiple installments throughout the month. Affirm is the newest company to experiment in this space, launching a pilot program last month that lets renters split their rent with no interest or late fees. The idea behind these services is that breaking rent into smaller payments can make it easier for people with inconsistent income, such as gig workers and lower income households, to manage a large monthly expense. So that's the latest. They Klarna and affirming your rent. You pay a little now, pay a little later, installment. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, man. But that is the latest, man. That is the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. I got a lot up about that. Hey, shout out Addy. But yeah, man, it's that's wicked. That's wicked. I mean, buy now, pay later for your rent. I just feel like you're just gonna always be paying rent. You're gonna be paying rent nonstop. Every week you're gonna be paying rent. You just think about rent. So it can't be good. I appreciate you all for listening and tuning in. I'm gonna get out of here. Gotta get ready for work. Head downtown. But everyone be well, be blessed. Once again, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. All the people of Seattle, all the Seattle fans, congratulations, Super Bowl 60 champions. There's no more football, so I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs for the next 6 months. I really appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in. Be well, be blessed, and I'll see you guys soon. See you guys tonight. Cheers.